Oh my God. There we go. Hang on. Do I got an echo? No, I don't. Okay, good. Jesus Christ, dude. I changed nothing. So let's start over, shall we? Welcome to the stream. I've got my tranny fluid ready. Shake that ass, Dylan Mulvaney. No Diddy. This is more fun anyway. Good to see you all. 38 people on. 20 people have hit like. Go hit like. It's free. Let's get this cracking, shall we? I'm sorry I had no audio. I don't know what happened. Echo? Oh, great. Tell me if the echo goes away. How about now? How about now? Echo. Oh, Lord. Hey, Cryptos11. Let me know if it's still an echo. I can try tinkering here. I didn't change anything, which is crazy. Oh, it's good. Sweet. There we go. I just had to hit mute button on one thing. Now, here we go. Everybody go hit like. There we go. Hit subscribe while you're there. We're getting close to 10,200. We passed 10,000 earlier. I got my Mulvaneys. Hey, shout out to Dylan Mulvaney, a great American. Shane Gillis, a great American. Kid Rock, a great American. And Carolina Keith, a great American. Let's have a tranny fluid in honor of all those idiots out there in the world who don't enjoy a good American brew. All right. Since we're so far into this, let me go say hey to everyone. I'm sorry this thing was jacked up. I didn't change anything, dude. I was recording stuff in here earlier, which is the craziest part about this. I didn't change anything, but why did it stop? Because I was recording stuff in here making videos, and I don't know. What's up, Ron Poteet? What's up, Rob? What's up, other Rob? That's great, dude. What's up, Jeremy? Trust Can't Lie. Miss Ariana, Bill Childers, Jordan Paradise. What's up, JH? Sorry about the no sound, everybody. Randall, Sean Shepard, Jeremy D, Jelly Bean, Judy, how are you? Other Rob again, Sean Shepard, JH, Carmine Glitch, good to see you. Jeremy A. Monroe, help me out with the echo. Cryptos11, good to see you. Mizell, Raging Beagle, Chili Lime, Brother Beal, Christian, good to see you. Phonetic Duck, sorry it took so long on the damn audio. Now let's have a drink. That'll do. I didn't want to drink too much and act like an idiot on here, so I wanted to get down to brass tacks. Brass tacks is the chart. What did we talk about last stream, if everyone remembers? I know I remember. I can share the thumbnail with you real quick, but it's not necessary. I remember what the thumbnail is. The thumbnail was, we need this to happen, which has already happened. In the last thumbnail, we were down here waiting on the price to get to the 50-day moving average. And hey, guess what, folks? In a snap of a finger, in one day, price jumped over that 50-day moving average, and we are now sitting above it. Now, as I said on the other live stream last week, when I said what we needed to see was, what's up, Diego? Good to see you, brother. What I wanted to see was this price jump over top of those moving averages. And look what's happened. Price has jumped over top of that 50-day moving average, just like I wanted to see. I said that would be the go signal. And for what it's worth, most coins have found their bottom. Not all of them. I can show you some examples toward the end of the stream of the ones that have not really found a bottom yet. Super annoying, super frustrating. On some of these where I kind of thought I'll buy these and not think about it to the end of the bull market, because one of the mistakes I made last bull run was buying stuff and then overselling it, overbuying it, overtrading it. So we talked about this kind of amongst each other, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't trade so hardcore this time. I should dial it back a little bit and be a little bit more careful. Well, I was, right? I was a little bit more careful. The problem is some of these I kind of let sit too much, and I can show you what I mean and how the basic TA that I didn't follow kind of cost me. The good news is on a lot of them, it didn't matter because I was so far up and had already taken profits a ton, but I have some examples. Nonetheless, jumped over this 50-day moving average. We've got 2 closes, and now we're working on a third because that day just started a couple hours ago. But we're working on a third day over the 50-day moving average as a basic, simple bear bull filter. This is solid. As mentioned by many others, the last time that we were over The 50-day moving average for the first candle or two was all the way back in February when we jumped over the 50-day moving average here. We kind of bounced back and forth and played around with it for a little bit. Similar price action. As you see, we had a pretty gnarly down that liquidated a good bit. Then it jumped back over the 50. And then since it jumped back over the 50, off she went. Same kind of situation happened again, where we had a pretty good liquidation event. We came down here and broke through these lows and liquidated a lot of longs. A lot of people who were being greedy got smoked out, and that's necessary. Good news is it's rebounded very aggressively, and since it's rebounded aggressively and is sitting over top of the 50-day moving average and has created support with this red box right here that I'll show you is over the pivot line. These pivots are called pivot point standard in the indicators list. If you go on indicators list, you can type in pivot. There it is. Also have a video on it just specifically on how this works over in the Discord and the instructional videos for free. You can learn how to use it. It's fairly easy and simple. Pivot line's back here behind the candles and you can't really see it too well, but there is a P right there, and that orange line is the midpoint or the pivot line. We have jumped said pivot line, and honestly, anything above 64,250 is above the pivot, good enough. Now that's just regular Bitcoin. We could go to Bitcoin CME. You'd see a slight difference there, but not a massive difference. It's still pretty close, and I'll show you what I mean here. Here is Bitcoin CME. All right. And look at the difference in CME. We are not over the 50-day moving average. I've talked about this before where I said, we kind of want to give a little bit more credence to the CME chart because that 50-day CME chart is a little different than the regular CME chart because it closes on the weekends. In my opinion, big industries, big banks, and big institutions would use this chart over the other ones if you're going to use one, because this is the one that stops and starts on the weekends when they're not working. Doesn't really matter to them what happens on the weekend. It matters what happens to them in the hours of that Sunday night to Friday evening. Obviously, they're making deals all weekend, and that's kind of why things happen the way they happen. But more so, they're going to use this chart, in my opinion. The good news here is, again, we're still over the pivot. You can see the pivot right there underneath all those fib lines that I have drawn. I know there's a lot going on in this chart, and it's really busy looking. More so what I want you to see is it jumped the pivot, didn't quite jump the 50-day moving average on the CME chart. All right. So I'll add in the other moving averages so you can kind of see here. Oh, there we go. So here is the 50-day moving average on the top, 100 moving average on the bottom, 200 moving average is way down here at 44,000. I doubt that happens. The longer it takes for that to get there, the tighter up and higher up these pivot points are going to go, and the less likely that is to ever happen. We're above support now, and now that we're above support, I expect some support tests. After those support tests, I think that's probably the last of the support tests. We finally make our big jump over it. Once we make our big jump over all the moving averages, finally, she ain't coming back. She's gone for good for the rest of the summer, into the fall where we'll slow down a little bit, off into the winter where we make our winter push. You can try to pair that with elections and argue that. I don't play that game. I don't really care. I don't do politics. But we'll say it's important what happens, and I don't care either way. There's nothing I can do about it. But it will have a market effect of some kind. We just don't know which direction yet. We'll know that right up until the time. We'll be able to see by the chart what we're expecting. So I want to show you a couple other things on Bitcoin. This was just the first piece showing you the 50-day moving average. We can go look at many, many other coins, but Bitcoin's the king. And as I've talked about a lot, we have to be aware of that and know that Bitcoin's in charge and we can't do anything about it. Bitcoin dominance is how we can tell how in charge Bitcoin is. Now, as you see, still over the 50-day moving average. Bitcoin dominance, what is Bitcoin dominance? It's fairly simple. It's the amount of money in the system only in Bitcoin. And that's in a percentage form. Now, as you see on the right side here on this price bar over here, isn't a price, it's a percentage, because that's how much percent of the money in crypto is in just Bitcoin. 56% right now. And if you do the math on total market cap, 2.298 trillion, that's $1.175 trillion in just Bitcoin alone. 1.28 actually. That's a ton of money. That's a ton of money in Bitcoin, and it's only going to get higher, especially when we break all-time high again. I'm expecting at least 3 to 7 trillion. Not now, not by the end of the year, but by the end of the bull run. Now that could happen faster than that, but that's my overall number that I would like to see. Timing wise, we'll see. We can look at fib time zones here in a minute, and I'll kind of explain those a little bit more. But here's what I see with Bitcoin dominance, right? You're testing a new high here. If you disregard the wick and just look at the candle bodies, we went up to 56.4. Earlier yesterday, we hit 56.1. I've got a bump right under my nose. Gosh, it is ridiculously annoying. We hit 56.1%. We didn't quite get up to this 56.4, which looks like it will happen. Above that, 57.3 to 57.7% is the next fib line up here. I've had that area highlighted for quite a while, as I've talked about before. We can expect that we hit that level and test that level. Here is the same level back in 2020. Same kind of format too, right? You ran up and made highs, bounced around on those highs right near a trend line before you eventually rolled over and quit in the summer. And that summer breakout happened and it rolled over and fell down. Once it fell down, it tried to recover once more till the end of the year. Then that was it. After that, it was all alts all the time. And Bitcoin still did well, don't get me wrong, but money was being stolen off the market cap into altcoins. We're nowhere near that yet, and I need people to understand that. It doesn't look like we're going to get that till June or July, and we might not fall down under this trend line until August. Now, I don't know that for sure, but I think sometime this summer is when we fall under this line. We've only tested it and only gotten close to it. We've yet to actually break it. And I don't have it drawn perfect. There you go. That's a little more perfect there. Now, that's linear mode. And in linear mode, we're coming up on the fib line here. At the 56.2 fib. I'm sorry, at the 56.2%. That's a half, or the 50 fib on the fib lines. It could stop there. It has stopped there before. I'm looking at linear and log on this because I don't want to leave any of the data out. I want to be as close as I can. I think summer we break this trend line. Just not yet. We're close. We're close. What's up, RB Ship 1? He said, legend, no brother, you're the legend. Thank you for being here. What's up, Mago, Crypto Addict, Brian W, Distinctive Shine, Daniel, what's up, fellas? And what's up, Diego? Listen, we're trying to get back out to Hawaii. I don't know when I'll make it back out there, but I promise you I want to go back because everybody has asked, can we go back? Can we go back? It's just super expensive to get to Hawaii, dude, because I'm on the other side of the world. It was like, man, I want to say the flights was like, like $7,000 or something, dude. Flights was mad crazy, but it was worth it. I mean, they're long and arduous, and there's a lot of travel involved, and I was beat up afterwards, but damn, dude, it was nice. And I don't want to island hop this time. I kind of want to stay in one spot. What's up, Digital Al? Good to see you, brother. Welcome back to the stream. What's up, Josh Udall? Good to see you, brother. Come hang out every Thursday. We do this every Thursday at 11 p.m. Here's side by side 2024 on the right and 2016 on the left. I'll be the first to admit things have changed a little. We didn't break the 50-day moving average until after summer over here in 2016. Many days post-halving. All right, it took a month and a half post-halving. Interesting enough, we're about 1 month post-halving, not a month and a half, all right? It was almost 2 months over here, right? When we broke the 50. It was 60 days. It was right at 2 months, all right? So we moved ahead by roughly a month here if we're looking at 2016. More so what I want you to see is the fib lines. You see it played around with the 50 fib back in 2016 once it broke trend. Same thing here, playing around with the 50 fib once it broke trend. Playing around with the 50-day MA once it broke trend. Playing around with the 50-day. I like that it's over both the moving averages over here. Again, CME is not though. So curious of how this plays out. I think this thing will straddle this moving average line here. It potentially flirt around with that 50 fib and 50-day moving average for a couple weeks or a month here, something like that. I really don't think May is the month. I think June, July, and August will be a little bit more fruitful. I just don't think it's going to go that fast, that quick. I could be wrong. And hey, I'm in, so I'm fine with it going faster than that. I just want to cover my losses on the backside. So I'm trying to be very careful about finding spots where if I see more down. For what it's worth, I think the worst of the down is over. I really do. I think we have some little down here, but I think the worst of it happened back at the beginning of the month. We had that liquidation event. I think that's probably it, right? Yeah, he said it's hell expensive. It is, but it's beautiful, man. And I hate that it's so far away in Hawaii because it's so beautiful that everyone should be able to experience it. It's just so much money. All right. So I've got all 4 halvings on the screen here. 2012, top left corner. 2016, lower left. 2020, upper right. Now, lower right. So more so what I want you to see than anything is there's similarities in the price action. It's not perfect. All 4 of them are a little different. You could make the argument here that 2012 is kind of closer than 2016. However, we had to move up pre-halving, not post-halving. And here is the current move. You could argue that this one and this one are very, very similar. In fact, I'll put them up there side by side now for you so that you can see it. I just have them all 4 on the screen so I can see them all 4, so I can monitor all 4. And that halving was November 24th. So let's go find that. 2012. Gosh, this chart is incredibly parabolic, and it's in linear mode here, and I hate linear mode, but a necessary evil for what we're doing. All right, so here's kind of your top formation in 2012. It kind of slid down sideways there until it jumped over the moving averages. Now, look at how close it is to 2012. And it's pretty close to 2016, yeah? What I'm trying to show you more than anything is the similarities in the price action. What do you not see? I want everyone to jump in the comments here and tell me what you don't see any more of after that trend line. I'll tell you what I don't see anymore after we've broken these trend lines. I can erase these fibs too, by the way. I'm just using that for reference. After these trend lines are broken here, what do I not see over here? Right? What do we not see on any of these? Look, once halving happens and it gets back over that 50-day moving average, what doesn't happen anymore? We don't have any more big down. In fact, it looks like there's only sideways and up here. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Good, you're seeing it now. Good stuff. There's just not much more down left. Again, there could be some sideways and down here, but less than the up and sideways. And if that's the case, then we're bullish uptrend here. Okay. I'd love to be pessimistic because if you guys have watched for any amount of time on here, you know how much I say, hey, let's be careful here. Hey, let's watch out. Hey, let's be careful. Hey, let's tiptoe. Hey, everyone have a plan. Let's mind our P's and Q's. Let's be on top of this. I constantly say that because I want everyone to be careful and mind your money the best you can. This situation seems to be a situation of, well, things kind of look sideways and up, not sideways and down. And if that's the case, folks, find your spots and get ready because the summer's coming. We're going to have up this summer. We're going to have a little sideways and down in the spring, in the fall. And then in the winter, we're probably going to get another run up. I'm just telling you how it is. And I know you're going to listen to me and go, oh, he doesn't know that. He's just guessing. Nobody knows what's going to happen. That's fine. And I would agree with you. But don't say I didn't warn you, all right? I can see it coming because of the chart and not the people. What's up, Cannon Pro? What's up, Cheese? What's up, China Matt? He said fair value vector grapes, bro. Stop it. That's pretty good, dude. Yeah, so I'm watching as close as you guys are. I promise if something's going to fail, I'm going to be all over watching it. Even when I'm recording videos, recording commercials, or doing Zooms with people, one-on-ones, I'm still watching the chart constantly. And the only time I'm not is if I'm off doing stuff, because I am Mr. Mom now that I'm home all the time. I mean, we were at the school today, right? So it's almost over. We got another week and a half to go here, and then one's out, and then 2 weeks, and the other one's out. So the school will be finally over. Now they're going to hang out with me all summer, and I will tell you this, fellas, I plan on going to the pool a lot this summer with the kids. They're getting older. One's a teenager with armpit hair and growing up and stuff, dude, and I'm sad as hell about it, and I'm tired of missing everything. One of the things about me going and doing this full time was my ability to be able to hang out with my boys, be able to hang out with them more this summer and do some stuff. And I'm tired of missing out. I got to do some stuff last year. That was the first time, which was nice. But I'm tired of missing out. I don't want to miss out. There's going to be an ad start in 45 seconds. I want you fellas and ladies to be prepared. Charts don't lie. Thank you, RB Ship. Justin Cleveland. Mago, I wish I could like comments on here. What do you say? I don't see the date you go on vacations. That's the start of the post July 4th will be in Playa del Carmen. All right. So PDC's coming post July 4th. I think July 7th through something like that. The second week in July, I think, is when. So whenever I go on vacations, charts go up, everybody. In case you didn't know that, now you know. All right, so let's get back to some more. There's 10 more seconds to go. We'll talk about the dollar index and some other stuff right after this commercial break. And I know, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep talking, but it's going to hit you. Sorry. All right, yeah, we'll do the dollar index next, because this is important. Mago said, come from me in Mexico. Let's go to the beach. Bro, I'll be in PDC for a week and some change. I promise you. The majority of the time that I spend in Mexico will be on the beach. I cannot wait. What's up, Danny D Pockets? Good to see you, brother. All right. I think the ads are over now. So here's the dollar index. Why is this important? We've talked about this plenty of times before. Plenty a lot is what I was going to say. We have 3 touches on this trend line now. This is fairly bullish. 1, 2, and 3. You can't deny that. Why is this important? Well, the dollar index tends to run opposite of crypto. We need this dollar index to fail this trend line. Once it fails the trend line, then we have a better jump on what crypto is doing. Until that happens, well, it's probably going to keep going this sideways and up trash that it's doing. Now, there is some good news. It did fail the 50-day moving average. The bad news, it's bouncing off the 100 and the 200 because it has all those good moving averages under there that act as rolling support and resistance for the dollar index. I want those to fail. I want this thing to jump on the other side, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. In fact, it looks as though this blue 100 moving average is going to cross upward through the red 200 moving average. And if that happens, that means the price came back up here, which means it could drag our crypto sideways and down for the rest of the month. And again, kind of expected that. Been hollering it from the heels for quite a while. Yet, much ado about nothing. Until dollar index fails, we really don't get a big jump off. Now next year it'll be different. I kind of expect the dollar index to kind of float around with this, but we'll see. If you want a narrative, I don't like narratives, but since we're about halfway through this, I hate narratives. Doesn't matter to me what the hype is. I don't care. I just want to see the chart. You guys know that. So when it comes to narratives, I'm never going to follow them. I'll listen to them, but I'm not going to follow them. Because if it helps me make money, it helps me make money, and I'm fair with that. I don't like needing a narrative for anything. But today, a senator did share a laser eyes meme after getting a crypto bill stricken that was restrictive as far as financial institutions being able to buy crypto. That was stricken today. So not bearish. You got politicians that are running for president who are hollering, "We like crypto." The other one has stopped talking about it completely because he doesn't want to look like he's negative on it. Gensler is likely to get replaced if an election happens a certain way. Things are looking on the up and up is what I'm trying to say. So there's reasonable suspicion to think that we could have a blow off top come 2025. I don't want to do that. I don't want to jump ahead and be ahead of game like that and guess. But it's my duty to spit real facts. And if we hit a certain level and hold it here next year, we have a chance to make an enormous amount of money. I think we're all going to do pretty well anyway, but we have a chance to make exponential money. All right. Things are going to get really tight once we get way high. All right. Once the charts go way up there and they start getting exponential, we're going to have to really be locked in. We're not there yet. One step at a time, but I do have good faith in us getting there. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'm here for it. Gary Gensler's days are numbered for sure. Suey. All right, we'll look at Suey cheese. Cross mid-June and they go flat. That's what I'd love to see, China Matt. The people won't. I think half of them do and half of them don't, but we'll see. Real quick, check this ad out for Project 2033. Then we'll be right back. Now, Project 2033 is a 10-year commitment to some of the best cryptocurrency education across the entire internet, all in one spot for you to make it easy to get to look through, figure out what it is that you want to learn about, whether that be technical analysis from me, whether it's how Bitcoin works, basics of cryptocurrencies, there's a glossary of terms. Perhaps you want to know how to use Coinbase. You want to know how to use Robinhood, all in one spot. All you need to do is check it out. If you look below in the description of this video, you'll see it just down below. Click on the link. That'll send you over. Put in your information. Before you know it, you'll be on your way. Project 2033. Check it out. Sweet. So we're back. All right. I'm going to jump over here from the dollar index after we've already talked about Bitcoin. We talked about the multiple factors of Bitcoin, all four halvings here, how we don't have a ton of down on the backside of halving. Once that 50-day moving average is broken, we tend to hang out near it. So I think most of the down is gone. Our catalyst would be the dollar index falling sideways and flat. Like China Matt said, if these moving averages kind of went flat here like so, and then we fell under, that would be a great catalyst for our money to go into crypto. It's likely that the government starts printing money at some point here, which will devalue the dollar. We just need that to start happening. Might not happen till the end of the year though. We showed CME charts where the CME chart isn't quite over the 50-day moving average yet, but everything else is. So hopeful that happens. Let's go to a couple other ones now. How about Ethereum? This is Ethereum CME. We'll start with this one. Hey, what's up, Pete? Good to see you, brother. Excuse me. Thesis is largely we have our higher lows and target highs. Absolutely, Cheese. Looking for higher highs, Cheese says. I would agree. Here's Ethereum CME. Linear log doesn't matter. She's still pinned. And actually the CME chart, the price is still under the 100 moving average. Do you see that there? That needs to get right, and it hasn't yet. So it likely needs a little bit more time here. I can draw this trend line tighter. Doesn't really matter. It's still not over it, even if I draw it tighter. Or linear log, whatever. It still hasn't broken. So it still needs a little bit more time on the CME chart. How about the regular Ethereum chart? Here's the regular one. Same difference, only it looks a little worse. Linear log. Let me see here. Redraw. This trend line's drawn terribly. I don't know what I was doing. So something like that. Either way, we're pinned down by moving averages right here that are holding down on the price. And until they flip that over, we're kind of stuck in the mud here for Ethereum. Not bad, because we may just go sideways, may touch this 200 moving average, and then back off she goes. How about Ethereum versus Bitcoin? Because this is a kind of hot topic at the moment is, when do we start looking at Bitcoin charts, right? When do we start not using the dollar and start using Bitcoin more? The answer for me that so far is just not yet. This thing absolutely got smoked by the 50-day moving average. Whew, just got brutally beat down and hasn't recovered. And in fact, for what it's worth, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, that heifer's a falling knife. I think we got to admit that. Now, interestingly enough, after halving, we usually see Ethereum have a little bit of a power up back here and not quite give up the gusto so easy. But one realistically notes that this has kind of happened back in 2016 as well, right? Let's see, Monday, January. Halving was in July of 2016, right? June, July. Yeah, right here is halving in 2016. You can kind of see that Ethereum took a little bit of a push down for the summer, and then once it got its feet right, kind of went sideways until the end of the year. Once the end of the year came, altcoins took off. We just haven't gotten there yet, in my opinion. The king's going to still do its thing and kind of dictate what everybody else has to do. The king being Bitcoin. Till that changes, we're stuck like Chuck. And I'm in a ton of altcoins, so don't get it twisted. I'm here for the money. I want to make money in altcoins. No, Ethereum doesn't have a halving. I'm just marking halvings for a waypoint on the chart. All right. I haven't talked about this one on the stream, but let's talk about GameStop, shall we? All right. What I want to talk about first here on GameStop. I record this one. So here's GameStop. Here's the run that we had last cycle. All right. This really didn't start out till the summer of 2020, which was post halving summer. Okay. Halving was right here. Right about there. I'll darken that line up a little bit so you can see it. Just as a reference point. GameStop didn't have a halving. That's Bitcoin's halving. Just a reference point. Same story here. We just had halving. And as you see, just like back then, we broke trend shortly after halving. We broke trend, it appears, shortly after halving here. Now, I posted about this on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. But that sharp of a break, I know it feels good because some people's favorite influencer come back online and started talking again. And that was your signal to go do whatever you wanted to do. However, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now on the weekly chart, that is a horrible looking candle. That is a massive amount of sell pressure. The market was a little more prepared this time than they were last time. And I say that because they paused 38 times on Monday. The S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow paused 38 times. 38 times. They weren't having it. Quite simply, they were going to continue to do this over and over and over again. I've already had people DM me reports of not being able to buy, not being able to sell, the options button missing. The options are astronomically priced, this kind of stuff. So they're already taking the measures needed to make sure that it wasn't going to be the same. On the other side of this, now, one being tit for tat here, we had a buy signal come in back right around May, right at the beginning of May. This thing jumped the 50-day moving average. Do you see that right there? Right, that's exactly what we were just showing on Bitcoin. We jumped the 50-day moving average. Not only did we jump the 50-day moving average, but we jumped them all. Once we got over this 200, 50, 100, and 200, that's when you saw your favorite influencer come back online and start talking again. All right, so now all the moving averages are wadded up, and on the way up, we created gaps in the chart. Now, what is a gap? A gap happens in pre or post market when the price moves when you're not allowed to buy and sell. All right, pre and post markets are only for verified people. All right, you have to have a certain amount of money in the market to be able to get into the pre and post market trades. Most of y'all likely don't have enough money to do that because I'm talking millions. So don't think about it. It can't happen. Either way, pre and post market, people saw the stupidity that was happening and they started putting trades in. Also, jumping on the bandwagon, you see a lot of bots fire up, a lot of automated trades come online, gaps happen. Once that gap happened, it continued to go up. It made another gap. It gapped from $30 all the way up to $64. Then you saw the sell pressure really start to roll in. You saw the first gap close. All right. And now we're working on closing the last gap, which comes all the way down to about 20 bucks. Now that's a nice round number at about 20. As long as we close over 18 bucks, that's more clear than not clear. I don't like the weekly sale pressure. That's why I think it's more summertime if it makes a move than now. What numbers do I see that could happen for GameStop? And I don't just mean a wick, which means snappy price action that comes back down, because let's keep it real. Most of y'all aren't selling anyway, because most of you have the sickness, and that's going to cost you in the long run, but you'll find out later. All right. So we didn't hit the $70 level that I think it will hit. That's only a matter of time. More so, $100 is a nice round number, and that's in Sniper's Alley, which gets us up above previous highs. If it closes above 100, then we open up the possibility for 150. That's so far down the line, though. Let's not do that. That's so far down the line. It's possible. It's not probable. That being said, idiots come out of the woodwork and start throwing tons of money around. Leave your options open, right? I don't mean fiscal options. I mean the options in your head. Leave them open here. I think once this gap closes, things could get interesting. Once these moving averages get touched and retraced upon, things could get interesting. Like I said, they're around 15 to 20 bucks. That level is going to be key here. 15 to 20. Once that one comes in, I mean, it's not necessarily a sucker play anymore once it gets down there. That's back to support. Shorts would have been smoked. Longs would have been smoked. That's washing the market. That's how it works. Once the market's washed adequately, we can see some continuation, one step at a time. Okay, cool. There's GameStop for you. I even recorded that one so I can put that online. That's going to piss a lot of people off, isn't it? Sorry. And y'all didn't know I was going to talk about GameStop, did you? Got them. Let's see. They halted traded 38 times, Rob. Yeah. Or RB. What's up, Cheese? Said KISS strategy. I claim the 50 winners. Robinhood allows pre and post market buying and selling. No. It shows you pre and post market buying and selling. It doesn't mean that your trades went through. There's a big difference. You think you have access because you can click the button, but it doesn't do your trade till much, much, much later. You have to have a certain amount of money in the system to get your trade during the evening or the morning. That's one of them tricks that they play on you that you don't have any control over. As a retail investor, that's part of the game we got to play. Oh, thank you, JP. $2, bro. I hear you, bro. I got Mulvaney's out. Let's go. Shout out Dylan Mulvaney. Shake that ass, baby girl. No Diddy. Kramer says AMC is a dead man walking. Well, you know how Kramer works. So let's go look at AMC as well. All right, for AMC. Now, a little more technical here. I like it. So the moving averages were farther spread apart than they were on GameStop. And on GameStop, you could see that the bands and the moving averages were pinching in very tightly. Not the case here for AMC. The bands and the moving averages were still very far apart. You see that? The good news is this recent price action, even though it's come way back down, will pull these bands and these moving averages tighter together. I like the fact that it went up here and slapped that 50. That shows me some vitality to it. Problem is it hit the 50 and bounced downward. That's the continuation fib, which means more of what was already happening, which means more of the down. Okay, there was a lot of down in there. See that? The good news is this trend broke cleanly. Once the trend broke cleanly, she took off. It's made multiple CME gaps. It's already closed them. And we can look at this and tell you that that's about a 61% fall from $12 to $4. Yeah, that's about 60 to 75%. That's about an average retrace. Back to the R3 pivot at around $4.50 here to hover around for a bit. Makes sense. Wait on the moving averages to catch up. It needs some more time as well. I really don't think you get anything wild and crazy until later on, if you're going to get it. Now, I'm definitely not buying any of this. That's on y'all. Y'all have fun. I'm not a degenerate. No, thank you. I can find other stuff to buy. If we break some, look at that weekly sale pressure. That's a ton of weekly sale pressure. Long wicks on the top. equal sell pressure. You've only got 16 hours of trading left on AMC here before she's done for the week. That's a terrible weekly close. It may wick chase that, meaning price may catch up to this wick later on. So you may see $12 again later on. But that doesn't mean you're going to see outrageous numbers. And remember, please, that AMC did well last time, but it didn't do as well as GameStop. And it's way farther down this time than it was last time. If we get some movement, if I grab that peak there, it looks like March next year could be a favorable time. Problem is I need to really go back to the end of the bull cycle for this. And that tells me that, man, it's going to be a long road to hoe. She needs to close above $8 to really move the needle, and it's nowhere near that. That's 100% from here. So a lot of work needed on AMC. A lot of degenerate retail people jumped the gun on this one. Yeah, going to cost yourself a lot of money, so you need to start being more careful and make sure you use the chart. Let's see. Rocket Ride, nothing. I hear you, brother. You're silly. Shake your tail, brother. We choose setups, not outcomes. Thank you. Claiming the daily 50, a useful place to start. Absolutely. Very simple, basic filter, the 50-day moving average. Now, let's look at a couple altcoins, shall we? Okay, yeah, I see you trying to map. I'm not going to pull that one up because then people will try to demonetize me. That's the crappy thing about when you put certain things up here. People start coming after you. So some of the news of the day was Link. All right, they tried to holler about BlackRock or something. I don't know, dude. I don't pay attention to the news. The good news is here, I had already bought some a couple weeks ago, right about where it sits now. So I knew this was coming. I've been using Link as a profit dump whenever I make profits on a certain few coins. And I don't know where I want to put them. I take my money and I put it over in the Link just to leave it sitting because it's my opinion that Link is going to do pretty well this bull market. If that's the case, I can just throw some extra money over there here and there, and it's in a safe place that'll probably go up in value later on. Maybe not immediately, but later on. Plus, if I really need that money, I can pull it out and go put it somewhere else, right? It's not going to lose a ton of value, maybe lose a little here and there, but not going to lose a ton. So I can take that money when I don't need it, throw it in the Link, let it sit, let it marinate, and see what happens, right? We're under the 50 fib daily. Also, if you want to be careful here, you just kissed the 200 moving average on the bottom side here. Not exactly bullish. So I would like to see this thing, of course, jump over the 200 moving average, but I think it's more likely that we tail off sideways here, likely to the end of the month or the beginning of the next month. We'll see. Again, May, I don't think's it. I don't think May's it. I think it's close. I think we're really close to seeing some breakouts here, and I'm hella excited for what it's worth. We just haven't got over the hump on some of this stuff, right? Close, but just not quite over the hump. How about SUI? So I went ahead and bought some of this the other day. I saw it was oversold. You've heard me say this a ton of times, but when I see something that's oversold coming into a bull market, I want to take advantage. Look at SUI's RSI. I saw this on, I think it was the Monday Roundup. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Monday Roundups when I saw this, and we started talking about it a little bit, and I was like, 514. That's Tuesday. Okay, it was Tuesday. I wrote it down right here when I bought it. See, there you go. That's another thing I do for you folks who don't understand. SUI oversold 514.24. That's as real as it gets. I wrote it down so I would remember, and I went ahead and bought some. I bought it because it was oversold as we're coming into a bull run. I felt like that was a no-brainer. Now, could I have been wrong? Yes, and I'll show you one that I was wrong on here in a couple minutes. Also, to give me confluence of that, here's a fib from the bottom to the top. From the bottom in October to the top that we made recently in March. We made a retrace. When we made that retrace, we retraced back to support, back to the 50 fib. That was the other piece of the puzzle where I looked at that and I went, okay, I have confluence at this area. Worst case Ontario, this thing fails and then comes back down here to the golden pocket. If it comes down there, back down to the golden pocket, I'm not out a ton. Not out a ton. And it'll be so oversold at that point that it's likely to get snappy on the way back up. Good news, that didn't happen. My buy line's still looking pretty solid here. What do I need to see it do next? I need to see it get back over $1 and maintain it. Not just get over it for a couple minutes, but maintain it here. There is stuff in the way. Again, 200 moving average, 50-day moving average are making a bit of a death cross here. You see that? That's on the way. It's about to make a death cross. So it may get stuck in the mud here and kind of tail off and kind of suck it up a little bit for a while before it really gets moving and gets popping. Doesn't mean I couldn't buy the low, which I think I may have done here. I still retain some stable coins in case I needed, you know what I mean? I don't want to know if I'm going to put it here or not, but the point is I saved a little bit just in case it does go down the wrong way. I can rebuy or add some more down here at like the 70-cent level, which is about 15% lower than we are now. That would give me a fairly good price and have me a fairly good amount of money in it. And I think this one will do well for the bull run. Right. So there's the thesis that I used to come up with that. So RB's ship said, watch what you heard, watched that and heard you say very interesting. I wrote down well and then bought. Oh, I hear you, bro. 100x on Suey. Got it. I go stupid, dude. Yeah, y'all go hit like, bro. We got 10 more minutes left and we have 48 likes. I don't want to be ahead of certain people. But there are people in the YouTube and Twitter crypto world space that are just so full of clickbait and hopium that I would love to be able to outdo them, views wise. Content, they're never going to beat us. And I say us, not me. They're never going to beat us because our content is no hopium and tends to be correct more often than not. I would say over 75% of the time, what we put out is usually more correct than what other people put out. Not always, but usually. So there's other people out there that are better than me. I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm some kind of God. I'm saying we do pretty darn well. We do pretty darn well. Here's shrapnel. So, precursor. The whole gaming, Web3, you can earn tokens, blah, blah, blah stuff. Heard the narrative. Thought I would look into it a little bit. And shrapnel is one of those games that you play with crypto and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I bit a little bit on the hook on that. I made some money. I made some money on this and I took some profits and I threw them over here. And then immediately the chart did this very horrible move down that you see here. And it hasn't stopped. So I DCA'd this on the 7th a little too early. I didn't wait for an 821 cross. I didn't wait for a 50-day moving average cross. I looked at this and I went, oh, hey, she's oversold. It's kind of bouncing around on oversold. I'll go ahead and get in. And look, it's still falling, knifing me. This is what happens when you break your own rules. I broke my own rules on this one and I DCA'd one time a little too fast just because I had the money to do it with. So now I've got more in this than I want. All right. My average price is way up from where I am now. And it's going to take me forever to get my money back. This feels like BioFi. All right. I let someone else influence me on that one too, like an idiot. Especially the person that let influence me on that. What an idiot. But hey, this is me being honest and telling you I'm not perfect and I screw up too. This one sucked. It still sucks. I do think it'll get some gains back. And if I can get back to my average price, which will be good enough for me, I'll probably get rid of it and find something else. There's plenty of other stuff out there to buy that looks better. No reason to get hung up on any of these. I did some of that recently with a couple of them. Part of the game. Bundles bets. Bundles bets been sucking it up. I know. I understand. I'm aware of some stuff that's coming down the pipe. I'm pretty tickled about that. We're still way up from where we were when we first started talking about this thing, way down here. Okay. It's doing pretty darn good still. I'm still up pretty good on this. I'm not too much worried about it. We are bouncing around with the 50 fib right now. And if I flip this into linear mode on 786, so I think we found our floors here. I just need to see it break back over some moving averages. Once it does, I see us getting back up here to our highs where we were at some point. And then I still like 3 digits in the end. I don't expect that to happen overnight. I told you guys I would hang on to this for a good long while. And the reason I wanted to do that was because I told you there wasn't a ton of liquidity in this one. I'm smart enough to know that when I start the ball rolling, that a lot of you are going to get the ball rolling. And I don't want to influence the price like that. I don't want to be the person that impacted things. So I'm going to wait till later when the price is a little higher. I'm doing just fine on this. I've still got it staked because I knew I was going to leave this alone and wait. I went ahead and staked it. I still have my levels up here that I like it to hit later. This summer would be nice, or by the end of the year would be even better. 46 and 61. If we get anywhere up there with that, that opens up the opportunity for us to blow the top off later and get to that 2 fib up there around 100 to 150. That would be incredible gains for me. This thing's $7.50 right now. It peaked out at $26, so it's down very good, 60 to 70%. 70% down. It's down 70%. That's a heck of a discount. It's a gaming thing, Web3 gambling site. You can bet on stuff. You can bet on games, blah, blah, blah. All kind of stuff you can do. I'm aware of some stuff that's coming down the pipe, so I'm here for it. Let's see. I'm just looking at messages, making sure I didn't miss anything. Jito, however you say this one. This one's still ripping here. She's up in the sniper's alley now. I've already taken profits on this one time, so this is kind of house money for me. I can leave it alone and let her be. I'm already up 150% on this after taking profits, so I'm titties. I can leave it alone. I don't like it stalling out in Sniper's Alley right here, which is these 2 red lines you see. That's Sniper's Alley. I'll zoom in for you so you can see it a little better. There you go. Hanging out. As long as it's over the 50, I'm cool. It may need a little bit more time. Again, I think mid-June may be the time where it really turns the corner here. And you see a push up. And I think this summer we get up here to one of these extensions, $6, $7, or $8. It makes sense. That's 100% gains for the summer or for the end of the year. And I think maybe by summer, which would be incredible. I don't guarantee that. But I'm hopeful. Hey, what's up, Jay Gross? Good to see you, brother, out there in Berserkly. Good hanging, good talking to you, dude. It's all right if you can't come and hang out. I get it. Everyone's got lives. I don't hate that. We don't keep a lot of degenerates on this channel. It's mostly adults. And because of that, you can't always stay up late. I understand that. When the kids start watching and the kids start coming in, you'll see it get a little crazier in here. I kind of rue that day again, but that's going to happen toward the end of the bull run. We'll have big numbers on the streams, and it'll feel fun. It'll be super stressful for me though. I'm not going to lie to you. JG Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. Call now. What's up, brother? Been a while. Just had a baby daughter. Dude, let's fucking go, bro. So I got, there we go. I have an applause button or a cheering button. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations, bro. How cool is that? Teaching her how to chart right now. That's dope, dude. Congratulations. Like I said, we got adults on here. That's what makes me the happiest is that we're adults doing this, and it's not a bunch of kids and idiots and degenerates coming on here just talking crap. That's important to me. It matters to me later. It might not matter right now, but later on, it's going to be important. When you hit the top and it's time to start thinking about taking profits and scaling out of some of this stuff, you guys are going to wish you were around adults. Yeah, so idea, someone asked about idea. Similar story here. 5,100 good support. Even if we go sideways down in this triangle here till June, I'm okay with that. I do like a breakout to happen eventually. And let's get over that trend line and head up here toward 1 cent flat, which is 100% gains. Radium. That's super cool, dude. Yeah, lifetime bull run, having a baby daughter. That's awesome, dude. So Radium, trying its best to get over the 50-day moving average here. I'm up about 75% on this one. I'm just going to leave it be. I was up real big. I didn't take any profits. I left it alone. I thought maybe I'd add some more to this one later. Couple reasons I like it right now. Not only has it broken the trend, not only has it had a couple good days, but it's over the weekly 50 fib right here and hanging on, which is about $1.50. As long as it stays over that, we have a chance to run up here more towards $6 later on at the end of the year. That's why I was thinking maybe buy some more of this. The gains are there for this thing to be kind of exponential. I hate to keep buying new positions. Man, I get the ideas sometimes that I should buy some stuff that I shouldn't. And I'm trying to limit myself the best I can up here. For me, being degenerate is buying too many things, buying too many charts. You guys see me filing through these over here on the right. That's everything that I own. There's no BS over here. I keep it straight and keep it real with you. Just like Roaring Kitty does. I've been doing that since 2019. Been telling everyone what I own since 2019. Just nobody hangs out with us because I'm not popular. Never will be. And I'm not a degenerate, and I don't like being called a degenerate, and I don't want to be around the degens. We're adults here. So, with all that being said, thank you for watching. That was a fast hour, dude. Went by quicker than a hiccup. Glad you were all here. That's Southern. Leave you with a couple things. Could have been anywhere in the world. You all chose to come hang out with me. Blows my mind. You'll never understand how much I appreciate that. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. That's so important. Tomorrow wasn't so bad. Yesterday wasn't so bad. It'll get better. All right? It'll get better. Things will always get better. Just give it time and keep working toward it. All right? You can do it. And if anyone else told you, Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. Y'all have a good one. Sky's the limit. I'll see y'all next Thursday. Peace.